$2,000 stimulus check, clarification, and huge thank you. Also, hundreds of advocacy groups are calling on lawmakers to pass the next stimulus package. I have all the details for you in this video. Let's get into it right now. But if you're new here, or if you haven't done so yet, make sure to subscribe by hitting that button right down below the video, as it's totally free to do so, and I'm here for you every single day with all the latest details, as information is changing very rapidly right now, and I do all the research on your behalf. I distill it all down into these short videos because my commitment to you and this community as a whole is to do all this research and find any kind of money, benefits, programs, or anything else that we need to know about right now, and I deliver it in these short videos every single day so that anytime something comes up that we can take advantage of, I'm right here by your side letting you know what is out there available for all of us right here in the community. So again, thank you so much for your support. I truly do appreciate it. I get it. The struggle is real right now, but I'm right here with you doing anything I possibly can to help out all of you in this community. So again, thanks for believing in me. I really do appreciate it. Let's get into it right away. All right, so quick side note here. Let's quickly talk about that previous video from earlier today, talking about February 9th and a potential $2,000 fourth stimulus check. Hey, thank you so much for all the nice comments on that video. I've been reading through hundreds of comments on that video so far today, and a lot of really, really nice comments. However, I do want to address a couple things here that I've been seeing coming up down in the comment section. I've seen a few people ask the following question, and again, it's written in a variety of ways, but essentially the question is, does this mean it's game over on a fourth stimulus check? Does this mean it is not coming for sure, ever? Now, here's what we have to say about that. Again, I've said this so many times in previous videos, but I want to really focus on this for just a minute here. When it comes to a fourth stimulus check, honestly, we have no clue what Congress is going to do. That's why I've said before, we've got to watch all this stuff very, very closely every single day, because as Congress continues to talk about the next stimulus package, as they continue to assess the whole COVID situation, as they continue to assess how many Americans are struggling right now, as they continue to look at the inflation situation. There's so much going on right now. We have to watch all of this, all of the parameters, because it's so highly correlated very closely that we never know at what point maybe Congress will finally break and say, okay, fine, we're going to approve a stimulus check focused on the low income, or, whatever they decide. In fact, I've been talking about a little bit lately too, that the election cycle will be starting here as well. And with all this coming up here soon, with the election, the midterm and stuff like that, they're going to need to do everything they possibly can to get the votes of the American people, right? Well, how can you get votes? Well, sending money is certainly one way to get votes, right? And the sending it out in the form of a stimulus check, or at this point, honestly, let's just call it what it is. It's a survival check at this point, just like what they called it one other time when lawmakers were previously talking about this. So when it comes to a fourth stimulus check, $2,000, $1,400, whatever it happens to be, does this mean it is game over? In fact, no, not at all. Does it mean it's for surely coming? Again, no, not at all. There's nothing for sure at this point at all. One thing is for sure, Congress is working very slow. That is a for sure, right? I think a lot of us can agree here that is a very, very, very slow process. But as of right now, that's why we need to continue watching this, because at any given point, they could add a stimulus check, or maybe they could just stiff us and give us absolutely nothing. But we don't know that quite yet. That's why we got to continue watching this. But anyway, for those of you that watched that video from earlier, thanks so much for all the nice comments. I appreciate it. I saw a number of you reaching out and saying, I love it. I love the trust, the honesty, the transparency that you're giving here in these videos. I love how much that you're just being truthful about this. That's what I'm here for. Honestly, I'm here to give you the accurate information, even if it's information that you don't want to hear sometimes. But here's the deal. Being honest is way more important to me than coming back and telling you and just everybody what we want to hear all the time, right? That's not the best solution, in my opinion. The best solution, in my opinion, is to give you honest, accurate information and maintain your trust, even though sometimes, just like earlier, we need to share information that may not be exactly what we want to hear. In fact, I saw a couple of comments down below also on that previous video that said, I'm a little bit disappointed right now, but at the same time, I'm super grateful for your honesty. So again, thank you so much. I really do appreciate it. It means so much to me to have all of you right here in this community and to do all this research and to do whatever I possibly can to bring you the honest, accurate information, which is my commitment to you and this community. So Again, if there's any more confusion about that February 9th, which again, I don't think there's probably going to be any more confusion considering how much I elaborated on that in that previous video. But again, feel free to go check out that video from earlier today. I talked about February 9th and this talk about a potential stimulus check being sent out that day, deposited, an executive order, all of this business. Yeah, I would say go back and watch that video from earlier. I laid it all out very closely. I did some research on this, figured out where this is coming from, and honestly, it's a very unreliable source of information. But again, if I'm wrong, I don't think I am, but I'm just saying, if I'm wrong, then I don't even know what to say. But honestly, there's just no way, right? I laid all that out previously in the video. I made it very clear, but again, that's just where we currently stand as of right now. Could something come here in a month? Yeah, possibly. We just don't know. And as we've seen previously in other videos, we've talked about this March 1st deadline that they potentially have in the sand right now, right? This March 1st deadline that they put out there as an arbitrary date and said, okay, this is the day, we're going to get the package done by this day. And again, could it be done by then? It could be, but that's getting pretty tight on time here. We're only 4 weeks away from there right now. So they certainly need to focus on some things and get stuff done because the Build Back Better agenda, the original package, is stalled. It's not happening, the first one anyway, and they're in the process of revising the second one, or the replacement, I should say, of the Build Back Better agenda, but they're not exactly making a whole lot of progress on it. A little bit. They've got a few provisions they're working on, a few things where they've come together and they are agreeing on them as a whole, but for the most part, they're not making like a ton of progress every single day, right? So anyway, I'll keep you posted as we get more information. All right, let's quickly talk about these hundreds of advocacy groups that are talking about how they've sent letters over to every single member of the Senate, calling on them to pass the Build Back Better agenda. So as of right now, there are over 250 advocacy groups that have written letters and sent them over to the senators, all senators calling on them to support and pass swiftly the Build Back Better agenda. So these advocacy groups could be made up of all kinds of different groups all across the country, but essentially just saying, hey, you guys got to get this done right now. In fact, just the other day, a group of CEOs met the president at the White House, and they were talking about the Build Back Better agenda and how important it is to get this thing done, which, by the way, the CEOs that met with the president were actually CEOs from large car makers, right? Well, why do they want it to be passed? Here's why they want it to be passed, because there's huge tax incentives in the bill to buy electric vehicles. So these CEOs know that it's going to drop all down to their bottom line, because if they give huge tax credits for people to go out and buy electric vehicles and people start doing that, these car makers are going to make a boatload of money. So of course they want it to pass, right? Yeah, of course they do, because it's going to ultimately benefit them a ton. So I think all of us can see through the smoke and mirrors when it comes to that whole thing, right? Anytime that something's going to benefit people, of course they want it to pass right away, which is, if it contained a stimulus check, of course we'd be sitting here pounding the table also saying, pass it right away, get it done, let's get this done. But at this point, we've been watching it and saying, okay, there's not really any stimulus checks in there, not yet. There's the child tax credit. Again, those would be monthly checks going out to about 36 to 38 million families and individuals. But for the vast majority of seniors, the elderly, people with disabilities, there wouldn't be those child tax credit payments going out unless, of course, you have kids that are under the age 18. But again, we've covered all that in previous videos. So at this point, again, it's nice to see that there is some support for with these advocacy groups calling out to Congress to pass the Build Back Better agenda, but at the same time, there's still a lot of work ahead of them that they still need to get done here. However, we've also heard remarks out of people like Steny Hoyer, who is Democrat number 2 in the House of Representatives, as in the second-ranking Democrat in the House, and he has also mentioned that he believes that the vast majority, or at least a large percentage, of these provisions within the Build Back Better agenda will pass prior to the midterm elections. Well, guess what? That's a long time from now, right? That's later this year, early November, is the midterm elections. So here's what it kind of sounds like based on, if we read between the lines, between what the lawmakers are saying right now, it sounds to be like they're going to probably break this thing up in multiple little packages and or possibly standalone bills, or maybe they'll take as much as they possibly can, lump it together into one bigger package, pass that through, and then see what else they can do through executive order, or possibly revisit at some point in the future later on this year and pass that independently at that time, right? So That's kind of where we stand with all that. However, when it comes to a stimulus check, we also have to remember too, as we approach the midterm elections, if there happens to be a chance where they think, hey, we gotta wrap up a bunch of votes here, what can we do to get some votes out? Well, we always know, like I mentioned earlier, we always know that money certainly gets the attention of people. So we have to kind of assess the whole COVID situation going forward. Even though cases have been down lately over the last couple weeks here, they're still averaging very, very high, about 500,000 every single day. And we do know that we have this new variant, the variant of the variant, the Omicron variant, the BA, or the stealth variant is what they're calling it. That one we already know is in many, many states here already. And they're already projecting that maybe we're going to have another surge in early summer. So again, who knows, right? That's why you got to continue watching all this stuff. But don't worry. That's why I'm here for you. That's why I'm watching all this stuff very closely and why I continue to come back every single day with the updates. Because seriously, at any point, anything could be announced. A program, benefit, a money, stimulus check, anything else could be announced at any given point. And we need to know what is going on so that we can jump on it immediately going forward, right? So hope this one helps you out. With that being said, make sure to subscribe down below and make sure to go back and check out any of the other 2,100 videos or thereabout right here on the channel. And with that being said, let's bring Corey in so she can read the new updated list of shoutouts right here in this video for those names that are pulled right out of the fan club. By the way, if you want to check out the fan club, you can check out the link down below in the description. Otherwise, at the top of the comments section, there's a link there as well where you can check out the fan club. Otherwise, Corey, take it away, read out that new list of shoutouts, and remember that list is changing in every single video. And enjoy your day. I'll catch you again a little bit later in the next update. I'll see you for now. Corey, take it away, and I'll see you soon. See ya.
Today, we are happy to shout out For Your Rights, Martha Huntington, James Johnson, Eddie Johnson, Eddie Robinson, Love Jesus, Amanda, and Sissy Philly. Thank you for being members of the fan club.